Have you ever wondered why some people seem to fade into the background no matter how much they try to engage with others? Could it be that without even realizing it, you're sending signals that make others ignore you? In today's video, we'll delve deep into the subconscious habits, behaviors, and subtle cues that might be causing people to overlook you, even if you're not aware of them. So let's explore these behaviors and, more importantly, how to change them. 1. Poor body language. First, let's talk about body language. Our body speaks volumes, even when our mouths are silent. You might think you're coming across as friendly or approachable, but if your posture or gestures say otherwise, people might subconsciously steer clear. For instance, slouching makes you appear disinterested or even insecure. Crossing your arms can make you seem closed off or defensive, and avoiding eye contact may suggest you're not engaged in the conversation. These are all subtle, nonverbal cues that others pick up on, and they can influence how people perceive you. Even though these habits might be subconscious, they can leave a lasting impression. To change this, practice open body language. Maintain a relaxed but confident posture, smile often, and make consistent eye contact to show you are actively engaged in the interaction. 2. Lack of active listening. How many times have you been in a conversation but your mind wandered elsewhere? Maybe you were thinking of what to say next or distracted by something else. The problem with this is that people can sense when you're not really present. If you're not actively listening, they may start feeling as though they're not important enough to hold your attention, and over time, they may start ignoring you. Active listening isn't just about hearing the words someone is saying. It's about responding appropriately, nodding, asking questions, and providing feedback to show you're engaged. A lack of this could lead to others subconsciously pulling away from you. 3. Being overly self-centered. Next, let's discuss conversations that are too focused on yourself. It's great to share your experiences and thoughts, but if you constantly steer conversations back to you, people may lose interest. For example, if someone is telling a story about their vacation and you immediately interject with, "Oh, that reminds me of when I..." you may come off as self-centered. While it might seem harmless, this can give off the impression that you're not really interested in what others have to say, which can cause them to subconsciously ignore you over time. To counteract this, aim to balance the conversation, show genuine curiosity about the other person's experiences, ask thoughtful questions, and actively listen to their responses. People are more likely to stay engaged when they feel heard and valued. 4. Being too agreeable. Believe it or not, being overly agreeable can also make people tune you out. While no one likes a person who constantly argues, being too agreeable can make you seem inauthentic or, worse, invisible. When you always say yes or agree with everything someone says, you can come across as having no opinions of your own, which might cause people to subconsciously dismiss you as irrelevant to the conversation. Having your own stance, respectfully disagreeing when appropriate, and contributing new perspectives can keep you actively engaged in discussions. People are more likely to notice you if you can add value, rather than just nodding along to everything. 5. Low energy levels. Another factor that might be pushing people away is the energy you bring to interactions. If you're consistently low energy, whether you're tired, uninterested, or just not fully present, others will pick up on that vibe. People naturally gravitate toward energy, enthusiasm, and positivity. If your energy level is consistently low, people may unconsciously decide you're not worth engaging with, especially if they're looking for a more dynamic connection. This doesn't mean you have to be over-the-top energetic all the time, but maintaining a certain level of enthusiasm and engagement, even in more subdued moments, can help keep people's attention. Smile more often, speak with energy, and try to engage more passionately with the topics at hand. 6. Negative attitude. No one enjoys spending time with someone who constantly complains, criticizes, or brings negativity into every conversation. If you habitually dwell on the negative aspects of life, complain about situations, or gossip, people may start to avoid engaging with you. Negative energy is draining, and over time, others might choose to ignore you to protect their own emotional well-being. A negative attitude doesn't just repel people, it can make you appear unapproachable. To shift this, try practicing gratitude and focusing on positive aspects of life. When you express optimism, people are more likely to be drawn to you rather than drifting away. 7. Failing to establish boundaries. Surprisingly, being too available can lead people to ignore you. If you're the type of person who is always around, always saying yes to every favor, and always making yourself available to others, they may start to take you for granted. While being helpful is a positive trait, failing to establish boundaries can result in people overlooking your time, needs, and presence. To avoid this, set clear boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no when necessary, and prioritize your own time and well-being. By valuing yourself, you communicate to others that your presence is valuable and they are less likely to ignore you. 8. Inconsistent behavior. Another subconscious behavior that can make others ignore you is inconsistency. Do you ever act one way around certain people and a completely different way around others? This could make people feel uncertain about who you truly are, leading them to distance themselves. People are drawn to authenticity. If you frequently shift your personality or opinions to fit in with different groups, it can come across as inauthentic or even manipulative. To combat this, focus on being genuine and true to yourself in all situations. When you're consistent and authentic, people are more likely to respect you and engage with you on a deeper level. 9. Constantly seeking validation. One behavior that can push others away is the constant need for approval or validation. If you're always fishing for compliments, seeking reassurance, or trying to prove yourself, people may begin to distance themselves. Subconsciously, they may feel that the relationship is more about you and your need for validation than it is about mutual connection. It's important to build your own confidence from within, rather than seeking it externally. When you stop relying on others for validation, you'll likely notice a shift in how people respond to you. They'll be more drawn to your self-assurance and less likely to ignore you. 10. Being too predictable. Lastly, let's talk about predictability. If you're too predictable in your behavior, thoughts, or actions, people may start to see you as boring. This doesn't mean you should always try to surprise people, but being a little unpredictable can keep relationships fresh and exciting. By introducing new ideas, being spontaneous, or simply changing up your routine, you can capture people's attention in a way that leaves them wanting to engage with you more. If you've recognized any of these habits in yourself, don't worry. Change is possible. Awareness is the first step. By adjusting some of these behaviors, you'll find that people are more likely to engage with you instead of ignoring you. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more insightful content. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.